Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Talina, and I just have to start this off by saying that I am nothing if not a liar. At least when it comes to books. And when I tell myself that I'm going on a book ban, I just go out and buy 100 books. Bad habit. Okay. So I've said in earlier videos I was going to go on a book ban. Clearly by what's going on next to me, I didn't. Okay, I lied. And then also, I did do some of these books in other videos that I'm currently filming, and I'm thinking I'm going to try to edit that out so it's all just in this video. But if I can't, there are still new books that I have not shown yet. Many new books that I haven't shown. So, stay tuned for this video. I'm very excited. We have, let me count. I have 35 books to talk about. I'm bad. Okay. For the most part, I think I am done. I've gotten every book that I could think that I want besides like new releases. So no more. I'm not going to go out and buy any more books, but I will not stop with continuing series I'm in the middle of and new releases, like I said. So let's just get into it. First of all, I just have this bag. I just went out with my friend and we did some serious damage. Let me grab the first book first, actually. I want to show this one first since I have the second book in here, but I did get Trial of the Sun Queen, and let me just say, this one doesn't count because it's in my next TBR. I'm actually really excited for that TBR in that video. Stay tuned for that, something special, so it doesn't quite count because hopefully I'll be reading it next month. Next up, like I said, I got the second book, and this one was at half price books, so, you know, it wasn't full price, and hopefully I'll be getting into this, you know, shortly after reading the first one. My friend really likes this series, so I have high hopes for it. Next up, again, I'm going to justify this one. I've been trying to collect, you can't see it's too high up, but my Zodiac Academy series, the indie covers, and unfortunately some of them I couldn't get online. Like, they're just either pre-order or one of them, they just sent me like the traditionally published version, and I want them all to match. So I did find the 9th book of Zodiac Academy, and if I can find, I think I need 2 more, I believe, and if I can find those indie covers, I will get those. Next up, I did get Lucy Score's new release. I got Story of My Life. The edges are so pretty, and I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of why I got it. I have been a Lucy Score fan. I've read 5 of her books so far, and I've enjoyed every one. I do have another one that I want to read. I have By a Thread. I want to read that before I get to this one. But the edges are so pretty, so I got it. Lastly, for this bag, I can also justify this one. I got Funny Story in paperback. I've already read this one, but I decided that I want to collect all of her books, Emily Henry's books, in just paperback, because I had 3 of her books in paperback and then 2 of her newer releases in hardcovers. I just prefer them paperback. Next up, I'm not gonna lie, this one was a very spontaneous purchase. Again, I was with my friend looking over her bookshelves, and she has the Fairy Loot editions of Vampire Academy. And okay, first of all, big vampire storyline fan. I love vampires, okay? And I don't know much about the series, but Fairy Loot still does have, I think it's books 4 through 6 available. So I did get those ones, and hopefully one day I'll be able to find the first 3. But I did get the entire box set off of Amazon because it was 51% off, okay? And again, I think this is one I'm going to read next month or maybe the month after. She wants to reread it, and then I'll be reading it for the first time, so maybe I'll get to these soon. Next up, I got Hannah Bonham Young's new release. I have not read her other books, okay? I'm ashamed. But I actually think I'm going to start with this one because that same friend recently read this and really liked it. And she said it's a great way to get into her stories, her writing. So I'm gonna read this one soon. I'm very excited. It sounds like I'm gonna love all of her books, so I've just been collecting all of them. Next up, you will notice that I am nothing if not easily influenced. This is a massive book that's been going around with all of the fantasy book girlies that I watch on YouTube. City of Gods and Monsters. This book is huge, and that terrifies me. But I've again heard nothing but great things about this whole series, so I am going to read it. I'm nervous. I don't know when I'm gonna read it, but I do. It's beautiful. I love this. Next up, I got Sarah Adams' new release, Beg, Borrow, or Steal. I've read one of her books so far. It was a cheat sheet, and I did really like it. And again, I've been collecting most of her books. I have everything in this series now, and then the cheat sheet world, so I'm planning on reading both of these series very soon. Next, a little while ago, I got a BK Borison book. I got In the Weeds, which is the next book or is it the first book in the Love Light series. I read The Love Light Farms 2 years ago and I really liked it, and then I recently read her new release, First Time Color, and I loved it. I think actually both of those books were 5 stars for me, so I did decide to get this and to continue this series because I really like her writing. It's super cute. It always just makes me so happy. My heart feels so fuzzy, so I am going to continue this series. Next up, this is one that I'm actually really nervous for. I used to have this book and then I tried to read it and I didn't like it because I wasn't used to this sort of writing style. And I also did try to read it right after reading the first book of Magnolia Parks, and I didn't have the rest of the series at the time. So I went through a massive reading slump, and I finished that book and then tried to pick up this one. And I wasn't vibing with it. I didn't even read that much. I just saw that the entire thing is in interview format, and that kind of threw me off, and then I just got rid of it, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like that. And then this book has become like one of the biggest books in the book world. How many times will I say book? But I just want to be included, guys. And then the favorites has been going around a lot recently, and I decided that if I'm going to read that one, I should try to read this one first because everybody compares it to this book. So I just want to know. I want to know what the hype is about. So I got it again. Next up, this is another example of me being very easily influenced. 2 of the book girlies, Laura and Bailey, read this and loved it. It's fairy tale. Again, this book is a brick. But everything that they like were saying that it's about, all the vibes, like the gothic vibes, I was like, I fear that I will eat that up. So I decided to get it. My next few books are all a part of that Amazon order I did where I was like, let me just get all the books I have my eye on. And one of them is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. I read The Little Stranger duet by her and I really liked it. So I wanted to go into this one. This is just a book that I've heard that you should go into if you're a dark romance fan, which I am, and I did like her writing in Little Stranger, so got that. Kind of along that same note, I read the Legacy of God series. I loved it, okay? It's specifically God of Fury, my favorite book of last year, hands down, so I decided to get another Rena Kent to continue reading her books since I really like that series. Hopefully, I don't know anything about what this book is about, but hopefully it can compare to the Legacy of God series. Next up, again, here's me being easily influenced. Larry Reed's read this book in one of her recent videos, and again, I know nothing about what it's about, but she highly recommended it, but at the same time, didn't recommend it. So I was interested, okay? I got Torment Part 1 by Dylan Page. Again, going into this blind, she said that this book will ruin you. So I'm gonna do with that what I will, but you know. Next up, I have already read this one. I got it, first of all, because my bestie read it and said it was pretty good. Second of all, it's very pretty. So I was at the store by myself and I was like, I want to get this one. So I got it. And then conveniently, it became one of my book club picks. It's my first in-person book club. Really excited for it. So I read it all last week. You'll have to stay tuned for my wrap-up for my thoughts on this, but let me just tell you that as I was reading it, I was giving my coworkers like updates and they were just like, what? What is that? Anyways, it's Kiss of the Basilisk. Can't say that word for the life of me. But first of all, edges are so pretty, right? Beautiful cover. This book is insane. Again, stay tuned for my wrap-up. Maybe I'll go more in depth there, but this was not what I was expecting at all. It was crazy. Next up, I've been kind of making my way through Penelope Douglas's books. I'm reading the Devil's Night series, and I've also read Punk 57, and you know, those, at least so far, I'm enjoying them. Like, they're pretty good. And this book is a very controversial one. People either love it or hate it for whatever reason. Again, going in blind, but I just want to know why this book, people either die for it or, like, absolutely hate it. So, I'm very curious about that one. Again, I got book 8 in Zodiac Academy recently, trying to just collect this whole indie cover series. Next up, this is a book that I've heard so much about, and I'm super curious about it. Again, as always, I know nothing about it, but I got the Book of Azrael. This is a very popular romantasy book, I think. Let's see. For 1,000 years after the gods' war, the other world has known peace. But soon that too will change. An old enemy driven by revenge slowly builds an army behind the scenes. Temples are being ransacked in search of an item long lost, and enemies since the dawn of time must put aside their differences if they have any hope for survival. Sounds interesting. Don't know anything besides that back. Next up, this is one I kind of spontaneously picked up yesterday. Again, this is embarrassing. I used to have this book. I had a bad habit of that. I would buy a book, I would try it, I wouldn't like it, and instead of deciding that I just wasn't in the mood for it, I would just get rid of it. Here's to not doing that anymore, but it is how does it feel? I read like a decent chunk of this, not too much, but like a little ways, and I just wasn't vibing with it at the time. Nothing was compelling me to read it, but I am interested. Again, my interest has been piqued. I want to know what this book is about. So I did get it again. Got the next paperback of Emily Henry's book. I got Happy Place, and this wraps up, like, now I have all of her paperbacks. The next ones are some that my friend gave me. This is one that she had a duplicate of, and thankfully, because this is another one in the Love Light series that I'm trying to collect by B.K. Borison. So that worked out pretty well for me, might I say. Next up, she gave me Fall of Ruin and Wrath, but this is actually, I'm going to annotate it and give it back to her. So I'm not really keeping this one, but I will be getting a copy that she's annotating. So I am still owning this book, but I think that's really fun. We're going to do that with a few books. I might make that into a video perhaps. But I'm really excited for that. This is one of her favorite books ever, so excited to read that one. Next up, she bought this book for me. It's called Fear the Flames. It is so beautiful, and she read it and really liked it and wanted me to read it, so she got it for me. I'm really excited for this. Stop it. The map is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm excited to read this one. Again, don't know too much about it, but I know there's dragons, obviously. That's all I need. I'm in the middle of the, what is the series called? The Imperium series. I'm in 4th wing. I'm on book 3. I'm about to start it, and I'm really nervous. But I do love dragons in books so far. It's been very interesting. It's fun. Next, again, this is getting annoying, but this isn't a book that I know anything about, but she just didn't want it anymore, so I decided to give it a try. It's 1-star romance. I don't know. Let me see what it's about. A struggling writer is forced to walk down the aisle at her best friend's wedding with the man who gave her book a very public 1-star rating in this fresh romantic comedy. I haven't really tried romantic comedies too much that are just kind of, you know, rom-com funness. Like, I like my books to have depth and, like, a big plot. But honestly, like, this sort of plot is one I've been enjoying just randomly at, like, just no plot, just vibes, you know? I don't like it too often, but when I read one at just the right time, like First Time Caller, was kind of no plot, just vibes, but I loved it. So hopefully this will be one that hits just at the right time. Okay, we're down to the last 3, and these are ones that I got in my big Amazon purchase, but I got Wrath by Ella James. Of course, I get all my dark romance recs from Larry Reads. Definitely check her out if you like dark romance, but this is one that they were recommending, and don't know anything about it. First of all, don't look at him. The cover's... I don't like people on the cover, but I don't know. Sounded interesting when she was recommending it. Next 2 are kind of out of my comfort zone. They're both mafia romances, and I found that I'm not a big gang/mafia romance lover, but these are like pretty big in the mafia romance world, so I decided to give them a try since, you know, I think popular books are popular for a reason. So I got The Sweetest Oblivion and Twisted Emotions. This one's book 2 in the series, but I heard that, like, just from, like, their ratings, the, like, book girls that I watch, they rated this one higher, so I just decided to try it since I'm assuming it's an interconnected standalone. But this one is book 1. Again, I don't know anything about them besides they're very popular and both mafia romances, so decided to give them a try one day. And that wraps up my massive haul. Hopefully you guys won't be seeing another haul from me for a while because my shelves are full. They are full. I have no more room, and I have so many books to read. So hopefully you guys will just be seeing reading vlogs. These will be coming up in future videos, so I'm really excited for those. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching.